Knowledge is being aware of your situation. Wisdom is knowing when and how to act. My friends, we see stocks, bonds, and gold are down a little bit for the day, all of them. Bitcoin is a booming. We'll get to that in just a minute. Let's jump first into the S&P 500. Now, we see the high we reached last week. Again, it was a shortened week. We can see where our volume is from last week. The high, 510.13. We see that high when we go over here. Now, again, let me go back. 510.13. This high this week is, of course, 508.75. We were down 0.37%. We look at the 2-day that finished drawing today. That's Friday also. You can see where things bumped up on Thursday. Friday, the high in the morning, and then things rolling off as we start the week. When is this market going to go down? Can't tell you. But again, starting off the week a little weak. But again, this has just been a booming. Now, you know, when you print money backed by nothing and you just keep throwing it into the system, that's called inflation. It's like blowing up a balloon. Money is the air. The economy is the balloon, and as you blow more money into it, it stretches. What happens to real things like stocks, like companies? Well, of course, they go up in value because you're printing more money. And again, the money is trying to cover real assets. So real assets, hence real property, things like stocks, all those things, they go up. That's what we see continuing to happen. At some point, the bubble will burst. When? I can't tell you that, but we'll know it when we see it. Let's move on. And we just see, look, price on the 2-day is above that weekly trend line that looks almost flat on this 2-day chart. And again, let's just make sure that that thing is drawing right for us. It just looks screwy there, doesn't it? Let's move it, and let's move it back up. And there we go. Isn't that interesting? I don't know why when we reset it like that, we got a better line, but we did. Maybe that's just a little glitch in the system you have to do every now and then. I could tell that was just too flat. But we do see we are above that weekly trend line. Let's just check on our half day also. Make sure that it's set right. Looks, I'm just going to monkey around with that a little bit. Looks like it is. There we go. So again, we are above, and again, market is just poised. You know, we're starting off with a decent sized candle. All of that is subject to change. Let's look at where we are on the NASDAQ 100. And of course, as we look at I hate how that thing pops up when you're up high. It just completely covers up. So we'll bring it down a little bit. All you got to do that is just grab and pull. And of course, what do we see here? We had a spinning top last week. The high last week on the NASDAQ, 440.59. The high this week, 438. Again, down for the day, 0.05%. You can see where that new 2-day candle that finished drawing today, not quite up to the average volume on the 2-day. Last week, the weekly was below the average volume. This week, again, starting off as we see things, we can just sort of see on this half-day chart how things popped up to that most recent high on Friday and then sort of burning off since then. A lot of indecision at the end of the day, below average volume on the half-day. On the 2-day, and of course, it's just first day on the weekly candle. So stocks, again, starting the week off struggling a little bit. Doesn't mean that they won't make up for that. Now, check out what is going on here as we jump into bonds. Bonds were down for the day 0.30%, starting off with, I guess what looks like a doji here, but it is above that weekly trend line. Of course, volume, we can see not much there. On the 2-day, we can see that's it. Let's again try just making sure that this is accurate for us as we reattach that trend line. Yeah, we can see where we're just sitting there right below the weekly trend line on the 2-day, and we pushed through it on Friday afternoon and then sort of settling back on it on Monday. So we will keep an eye on bonds, down 0.30%, as I think I said. Gold down a little bit. I've tried to put some kind of trend line in there for us. as we start the week. Not much of a trend line, but down 0.22%. We can see that the 2-day is sitting just below it, that weekly trend line, and the half day is sitting right there above it. So we'll keep an eye on gold, see if gold is going to move back up or if it's going to move back down and continue its downward descent. Maybe it'll push up and actually hit. It would be nice to see it if it pushed up and pushed through what has been a ceiling so many times for gold price. When is gold going to push through that? I don't know, but we'll be here helping you chart it when it does. Now, here's the big daddy. Look at HODL up for the day, 6.69%. Just a rocketing up to a high of 62.22. Now, when we go to the 24-hour a day Bitcoin chart, you can see the high that it has hit is $54,969. And as we look at the 195-minute chart, boy, it started spiking up on that first candle that drew. Well, it's not the first candle in the morning because it's 24-hour a day chart, but the one starting at 8 a.m., up, up, up throughout the day. Bitcoin 24-hour a day chart up 5.84% at this time. Now remember, HODL is the new Van Eck Bitcoin Trust since they closed the one we tracked forever, which was XBTF. So we will keep an eye on things as these markets continue. Bitcoin just surging. Now remember, we have some average volume here on our on our half day. We're waiting for the 2-day. Once we get 20 candles in, we'll get that. And of course, we'll have to have 20 weeks on this new chart before we'll get average volume on it. That is one of the big reasons we're doing the 24-hour a day Bitcoin chart. That is where we are, my friends, for now. So appreciate you being with us. We always love to hear from you. CW@chartingwealth.com. We'll be putting a good training in the show notes today. If you're not a subscriber at chartingwealth.com, go there, sign up for free. We never spam. We never share that list. And we appreciate you, Patreon members. We appreciate you the most for your dedication, helping underwrite the work we do here at the channel. The minute you sign up as a Patreon sponsor, guess what you get first thing? First thing you get as a Patreon member is Options Made Simple, the Charting Wealth Way 3-part series. You're interested in learning how to practice trade options? We have the starting point for you. God bless, my friends. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.